This meeting is being recorded.
In Chapter 2, Problem 16, we're asked to draw either one or two curved arrows that would be required to convert between the first resonance structure to the second one shown. So as you can see, I've already done that. I've already drawn the arrow. And in the question, they tell us to begin by drawing all of the lone pairs and then use the formal charge to guide you. So I've already drawn in all of the lone pairs, and I will walk you through how to follow the movement of electrons. So in problem A here, part A, we see that the pi bond, those electrons have been moved to be a lone pair on this oxygen here. So that results in that -1 formal charge on the oxygen and then the +1 charge on the carbon. So we use those formal charges to guide us, and we fill in that arrow on the first figure. So in molecule B, in example B here, we see that we have two movements that have occurred. So first we place the tail of our arrow on a pi bond. So we see that down here. And that moves to form the pi bond up here. So that's our first arrow. The head is pointed where the new double bond forms. And then we have our arrow on between the carbon and the oxygen in the carbonyl here. So our tail is on this bond, and then the arrow is on the oxygen. So that creates both a +1 formal charge on the carbon down here, and then a -1 formal charge on the oxygen above. So that brings us to figure C, and I've drawn the tail of my arrow on a lone pair on nitrogen, so down here. That nitrogen has a -1 formal charge, so we know that we should expect two lone pairs, like we see, and two bonds. So one of those lone pairs moves in and forms the double bond you see here. And that also, we have a movement of electrons from our double bond between the carbon and oxygen. So those electrons move up to the oxygen and create a third lone pair. So that's why we see the negative charge on the oxygen, on the nitrogen has been neutralized. That's now neutral nitrogen, but we have moved that charge up to the oxygen. So we've retained the formal charge on the molecule, but now it's -1 on oxygen. And our last molecule, D here, we see that we have the electrons in the pi bond move over to the other side here. So we end up moving that +1 charge from that carbon there to now this carbon over here. So this is the answer to question 16 from chapter 2. We'll continue with the next question next time.